Why would anyone consider postgraduate study in Christian theology? At Whitefield College, our postgraduate program is about developing and stewarding the intellectual gifts that God gives people for the sake of his church. We're all different, aren't we? The Apostle Paul wrote in his letter to the Ephesian church about the different sorts of people and gifts and abilities that God gives. He said, Christ himself gave the apostles and the prophets and the evangelists and the pastors and teachers to equip his people for works of service so that the body of Christ may be built up. We all bring something different to the body of Christ. For some people, God gives them this amazing ability to think deeply and to discern truth and wrestle and investigate with issues. And that's a real gift to the church. But just like someone with musical ability still needs to practice their instrument and still needs the opportunity to develop their gifts, so also someone with intellectual ability still needs to develop that gift as well. And that's what postgraduate studies is really about. It's about being a good steward. At Whitefield College, we focus on 3 skills in particular: research, critical thinking, and clear communication. Everyone who enrolls studies different kinds of things. Some people study problems in understanding the Bible. Some people wrestle with theological questions or historical questions, and others investigate ethical or pastoral dilemmas. But no matter what we're studying, it's the skills we're looking to develop, because this is how we can serve the church and build up the body of Christ. People with skills in research are often the ones who can see an issue or a problem and then carefully investigate it and wrestle with it and give it the time that it needs and think judiciously about it from a number of different angles. They weigh up different perspectives, they bring it into conversation with the Christian gospel, and they come to a conclusion, and then help and lead the church's thinking in that area as well. And you know what? The African church needs people like that. We need commentaries and books written by African authors for African Christians. We need public theologians who can respond to issues with justice and mercy and care from an African perspective. We need African leaders and teachers who care about the knowledge of God and who can explain the redemptive power of the gospel in this context. The Apostle Paul goes on to say what happens when people exercise the gifts that God gives them and do it well. He says, "Then we'll no longer be infants, tossed back and forth by the waves and blown here and there by every wind of teaching and the cunning and craftiness of people. Instead, speaking the truth in love, we'll grow up to become, in every respect, the mature body of Christ." And that's why you should consider postgraduate study. GWC's postgraduate program is about developing and stewarding the intellectual gifts that God gives to his people for the sake of his church. And that could be you.